I can't see the whole thing. Thank you for reminding me about the recording. So I had it set for automatic, but I guess it didn't do it. Okay, so now
Thank you,
we
Ronnie.
can officially get started. Yes, Renner.
I was saying thank you for this call. I'm a new agent, and yeah, I will remember stuff, but it's always good to revisit the recording. So thank you.
Uh, let me tell you something. When you get done with this call, you're going to have more recordings than you could imagine.
I hear
Because when
you.
I share with you my YouTube page that has 3 to 4 years worth of RPR classes, I promise you, you're going to say there's too much, and there's
That's your
more. So thank you for reminding me. I meant to write that down, the YouTube page, because I want to show that to you guys also, because that is a good, helpful tool. So, all right. So let me put in the chat the handout, because that's what I wanted to make sure that I get for you guys. Today's handout, so we can, let's see, it should be here. Okay, and there it is. Okay, it's called Get a CMA in 10 Steps. Okay, so how many of you have done a CMA before? Raise your hand. Okay, second question, how long has it taken you to do a CMA? Hour?
Allison and I would say the rest of our lives, Ronnie, at times, it seems.
30 minutes? Too long? Too long. Thank you, Shauna. Yep, I agree. So here's the thing, guys. I have learned using this beautiful tool, you could probably do a CMA in less than 8 minutes, and it's still going to hold up the right way. I promise you. Because the reality is this, a CMA is just an opinion like anything else. And what really is a CMA? Comparative market analysis, would we agree? What is a CMA not?
Appraisal.
Appraisal. Very good, Freddie. Now, the bonus question, why is it not an appraisal? Now, if you've been to this class, you know the answer.
Is the opinion? It's an opinion.
It's an
We're
opinion.
not appraisers.
It's
Not
because we
appraisers.
cannot use it
Yeah.
for the lender. The
Okay,
lender
what
cannot
else?
use the CMA.
Absolutely. What else?
We don't do measurement.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Okay, so in the essence of time, a CMA is not an appraisal because you don't pay for it. It's the God's honest truth, because we can do CMAs every day and twice on Sunday, right? It's free, 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 free. And after hearing on Pivot Shift from the Shift book, how Gary says, stop giving away all the free stuff and the free information. Might want to start thinking about that. I mean, I was taught a long time ago, you don't leave the listing appointment with the CMA. Some people tell you differently if you didn't take the listing. If you didn't take the listing, you shouldn't leave the full-blown CMA. Because the next day they put the sign in the yard for sale by owner because you just told them what it was worth. Yeah, we got to stop throwing away all our free stuff. Okay? All right, so I gave you guys the handout. We're going to start with the step-by-step how to create a CMA. I said I could do it in 8 minutes. The reason I say that is I teach this in my market center. I've taught it in my market center. And of course, what happens is people that are brand new, right? They go to the class, nice. And next time they decide that they need this beautiful tool is when they have to go to a listing appointment. And then they run to me and say, hey, I got to do a CMA. Help me. Well, I can't spend 2 hours with you going over this like this class today. So what I'm going to do is the quick and easy way. Take what RPR tells us immediately, and then what part 2 of this class is, the second hour, is justifying. And I have 17 ways to justify RPR's findings. Because guess what? Your buyers, sellers, and investors are already using the same tools. They're not using RPR because they're not National Association Realtor members. But they're using the same tools that I'm going to show you. And they already know. The first and foremost, because I used to put the RPR out there and say, okay, RPR has spoken and said this. And what did they say? The first word out of their mouth. The Zilio said, right? Now remember, guys, some of you may not know this. Zillow is a legal brokerage now in all 50 states. Zillow is a legal brokerage in all 50 states.
What?
They paid for the IDX feed. They now have the same feed that you and I have. Guess what? The Zestimate might be right. We can't say anymore like I heard today. There is no A in Zestimate, meaning accuracy. It might be right. So now you got to use it to your advantage as it's just another opinion. Because if they're setting their mind that Zillow is the almighty, then it's very hard to convince them. It's when you show them the differentiate of the other ones. And like I said, Zillow is a legal brokerage. So what else does that do? That also brings up ethics. All of us signed off on ethics. And what does ethics say? We shouldn't be talking bad about another realtor. Well, guess what? Zillow is now another realtor. We shouldn't be talking bad about them. And I still hear it all the time. So I'm going to tell you this. Use it to your advantage. Zillow, that's one opinion. Very good. RPR is one opinion. Here are 12 other opinions. That's 14. I still have 3 more, 17. That's the point I'm trying to make. When the market speaks, and that's the verbiage, that's your script. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, the market has spoken. And we'll get on to that in the second hour of this, maybe short if I get through this quick enough. Please hold your questions to the end, and I'm hopefully going to answer most of them before we even start. So I'm going to start right away with sharing my screen. You can follow along with the handout because we'll still do the same thing for you. So let me just get the share and get this where I want. Okay, so that's why. Change there. Let's go over here. Okay. Come on, Zoom. Work with me. Okay, can everybody see my multiple listing service, my MLS?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my MLS. My MLS is the 4th largest in the country, number 1 in the United States. It's the only one that I know of that has a country in it, i.e. the country of Puerto Rico is in my multiple listing service called Stella.
That's right.
Absolutely. And we also now cross-reference. Those of you that don't know it, you see the reciprocal MLS access? I hope that pops up. We can now look at South Florida listings. We can now look at California listings. We can now look at Mid-Atlantic. That's Maryland, Bright MLS. That's my good friend Nisi Draper and Company. I can look at the Miami listings. I got Latin America, which is different from Puerto Rico because that's in Stella. And I can look at Rhode Island listings. That's leverage, my friends. That's also referral partners. So if you don't think you're getting money, your money's worth because you think your MLS dues are too much, you're sadly mistaken because we're getting a lot of stuff. But you know what? that also opens up a can of worms. Are we going to go a nationwide MLS eventually? That's been talked about a lot. All right, so you have the handout. The first page says we are going to start with an address. So the address I am going to use is 2693 Menestry, Manestty. All right. Now, with my MLS in the speed bar, as this is called, less is more. I don't have to put in the full address. That's all I have to put in. Less is more, and it brings up what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the first one, which is active. It's in Osceola County. That's south of Disney World. I click on the MLS number. It brings up the broker synopsis. The broker synopsis shows me 2693 Menestry Lane, Kissimmee, Florida, 34747. Okay? Now, this was on the market on 11/4/2025. The list price is $655. It was built in 2006. The ADOM means actual days on market. The CDOM means cumulative days on the market. Based on what you see right there, there's 106 days on market. What can that tell you about this listing?
It's overpriced.
It's overpriced. Okay? Anyone else? So the two things, Vicky said the one. The second one would be there's something wrong with it. Condition. Okay? Now, Vicky's going to hate me. It's 106 days on market, but there's nothing wrong with this. The reason is where we're located in this area, the first line tells you this stunning, fully renovated, turnkey, 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom pool home is located in the highly sought-after resort community of Windsor Hills. What we mean by that is this is a short-term rental moneymaker, and it's a big moneymaker. The reason it's 106 days is probably they do not let you in when it's booked, but the clock keeps ticking. So they won't let you in to see it because people are paying top dollar to rent this thing, but the clock keeps ticking. So this is when product knowledge, I try to teach this in my market center. A lot of agents get blown up because when your buyer sees this, what do they say? Oh, it's not worth $655, offer $600, and they're totally wrong. They're going to ask for they're going to do lowball offers, and they're wrong because, like I said, this is in a short-term rental community. Now, how can I put this nicely? To plus, that's a Tulio line, to plus the listing agent, number one, I would have the paper clip here with the attachments. One of the attachments could be the transfer of bookings if they're going with the property to show, or what's happened to this property in the last year. The P&L statement, profit and loss statement to show what a successful moneymaker this is. Okay? And that would tell you something that you would share with your buyers to let them know, hey, it's not overpriced. Number one, it's turnkey. You're in business the next day, fully furnished, lock, stock, and barrel. Okay? Now, does that mean that it could be overpriced? Possibly, but in this case, I'm going to say probably not. All right, so once we know that, then what we're going to do is, as you're turning the pages of the handout, you'll see we're going to go to the next thing. We come over here to the top. All these things are very functional. All these things are functional and help you to do your job. All right, so we're going over here, and it says the RPR property report. RPR property report. That's what we're looking to use to help us to find out if, in fact, if this is priced right, and of course, we're going to do a CMA. So when I click on those 4 beautiful dots, it should take you right to Realtors Property Resource. If it doesn't, on the bottom left, there should be a phone number. I would pick up the phone number and call it. If you're not seeing the same screen I am, that means you've never been there before, and that's what you should do. Okay? So, with that in mind, we come to the property information page. You'll see what? You see a photo of it. You'll see the list price, $655. Okay? It's a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, 2812 square foot. All right? It has an RVM confidence score. The confidence score, and hopefully the pop-up's coming up, it says the RVM, Realtors Valuation Model, or the AVM, Automated Valuation Model confidence score, describes the expected accuracy of the property's RVM or AVM estimated value. 5-star rating is the highest confidence rating and 0 the lowest. The confidence score is based on the outcomes of multiple automated valuation models. High score indicates that the models yield similar estimated values for the property. Low score indicates that the models yield a wide range of estimated values for a property. If you wanted to learn about it, you could click on it to learn it. I'll tell you exactly. On a 5-star, if it's 5-star, it's plus or minus 10%. So 90% of the time, it is accurate. There's only 10% fallout. 4 stars, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So at 5-star, this number right here, I'm telling you guys, I've proven it more times than I can count. The 631 is probably where it's going to sell for. Okay? Now, does that mean that it sells for that? More than likely. More than likely. Now, the RVM was updated on 2/1. Today is 2/18. RPR updates twice a month. So this is due for an update. This might change. So right now on 2/1, this is where the market was for this. If it was 4 stars, it is pretty darn close. 3, you have to do your homework. 2, definite more homework. And 1, that means they couldn't find anything. The idea is this. You'll see the RVM. It says it's updated. You can view the details. The details are what was used to come up with that RVM. What I mean by that is it shows you the properties used to calculate that. And the recent closed properties used to calculate it. Okay? They have some pending. They have some active. They might even have some off-market product. There's why I tell you RPR is so far superior from your multiple listing service. They have off-market properties that you can use. So you have a wealth of value. You could print this out, take it with you. I don't think you need to be honest with you. All right. So as we move along, the next thing, all we have to do is go right down here to where it says CMA value. And what does it say? Create a CMA. Very simple. Create a CMA. All right, so we're going to hit it. Now it's going to give us what I like to call the CMA wizard. Very simple wizard. Now, before we do the wizard, either take a piece of paper, and I want you to either commit it to memory or write it down. You want to write down our property summary, the active for sale, 2693 Monastery. I want the living square footage. The living area is 2812 square feet. It is a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, and it was built in 2006. We're going to use that to our advantage. Okay? Next thing. It tells you, confirm the home facts. It's already been confirmed. All right. I'm going to go back and show you exactly what it was. Okay. What it says is you can edit this in these boxes here. What I mean is this, the public record data says this, the listing data says this. If it was off, you would definitely adjust it. Like if it said in public record, 6 bedroom, 4 bath, 4 full, and the listing data said 6 bedrooms, 3 baths, something's wrong. So how would you verify that? Can anybody tell me?
Tax records.
Well, the tax records are right here, the public record data. But how would you verify that, Penny?
I'd go to the township and double check.
Well, I'd go one step further.
You could measure it,
Go to the property and count the bedrooms.
measure it. Yeah. That's
Okay,
it.
exactly. All right. Doesn't
Or
mean
check the
much.
history.
What's that?
Check the history of the property. That would show.
Yes, but the correct way to verify it is go to the property itself. That's the concrete way to verify it. They're still fixing records from the boom in 2005 because the property appraiser only cares about one thing. Does anybody know what that is?
Square footage.
Which square footage?
The whole,
Under air.
The living area, not the basement.
yes.
Correct, because that's what the property taxes are based on. So as long as this correct, they could care less how many bedrooms there are or how many baths there are. It's this that generates on January 1st, the property taxes. That's all they care about. And that's it. Okay? All right, so we confirmed facts, not confirmed facts. Yeah, confirmed facts and close. If we're going through the wizard. All right, next thing it says find comps. Look at that. Isn't that good? But before we go there, I want you to take a look at this right here, up top here. We are doing a CMA that is build an estimate based on comps, on comparables, correct? There's also an advanced CMA, which is a more detailed analysis. What's the difference? The CMA allows for simple property adjustments. That's what I'm going to teach you. Simple. We don't have time to do advanced. If we want to do advanced, what should we do? If we want to do an advanced, what should we do?
I don't know. Never done it.
Have an appraisal done.
Yeah.
Unless it's got gold faucets with gold coming out of it, don't bother. Because the reality is this. The appraisal is there to protect who?
Seller.
The appraisal is there to protect
the
who?
lender. The
The
lender.
lender. And that's why, please, I'm tired of hearing this. My buyer waived the appraisal. The buyer cannot waive an appraisal. They pay for it. They cannot. Well, let me take that back. The only time a buyer can waive an appraisal is a cash buyer that ordered an appraisal. Yeah, you can pay cash and still order an appraisal to protect your money, but they're the only ones that can waive it. A regular buyer that's working with a lender, the appraisal's there to protect the bank, not the buyer. We say it's for the buyer, which is true, but the bank is the only one, the lender is the only one that can waive the appraisal. Don't get yourself caught in a bind there, because you'll get sued. I promise you. All right, so with that in mind, here's the thing. You see what it says here, okay? So I'm going to go back in time. I've been teaching this class since 2014, 12 years. 12 years I've been teaching this class. 12 years ago, I don't know, can you see my screen now? It says comparative analysis and it says sales comparison and more detailed evaluation. Can everybody see that? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 12 years ago, this is what it said. A workflow for appraisers. What? You mean appraisers use RPR? Yes. Yes, the appraisers use RPR. They're licensed realtors, most of them. And what happened with this is because this was here, it scared the bejesus out of the realtors. And the realtors said, wait a minute, I'm not an appraiser. I can't use this, which is not true. But it told Ronnie that, guess what? Appraisers use RPR. So that means, if they're using RPR, why ain't I using it? Because the reality is that's why it works. Okay? When an appraiser comes and does an appraisal, they have 95% of it done. I don't know if you know that or not. Yeah, it's just a formality to put the flags out and go through the logistics, but they've already got it figured out. I promise you. It's just dotting the I's and cut the T's, okay? So anyway, that's why this would be if we're going to do an advanced one, but I would tell you just order an appraisal and be done with it. All right, so let's go and find comps. So if we go to find the comps, we're going to come to this screen here, which is nice. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. Number one, you can do a map. You can use the map, okay? You can use the map. You can draw a shape. You can draw a box, a radius, a polygon. The only problem with that is if you don't know where the subdivision ends and where the subdivision starts, you may put inferior comps. Like this one here, Windsor, is a 24-hour man-gated, full-blown resort community, short-term rental. Right across the street is Indian Creek, non-gated community. If you didn't know that this is where the dimensions end, you might put these inferior comps in there, to be honest with you. So you don't want to do that. That's why I would say just, and I've learned through attrition, leave the default the way it is, active pending, active under contract, closed, single family we're looking for. The default before the pandemic was last 3 months. The default during the pandemic was 6 months because they couldn't find comps and the way things were flying off the shelf. So they went back 6 months. Since the pandemic, about a year and a half ago, it went back to the default being 3 months. The date range is the 3 months. So you see it starts there 11/20. Now, for our purposes today, I had to go to 11/10 because I want one specific comp out of there. So you can tweak it. I didn't go back that far. I used to tweak this with the square footage. Leave it alone. You'll get a better amount of comps that you want. The one other thing I want to let you know, a couple people said, no, RPR didn't have a comp that sold yesterday. Like I said, it updates every 2 to 4 weeks. But guess what? If you know that property sold yesterday, what does it say here? Add a known property. You can put that known property in and add it. There's so much functionality here that you can do.
My hair defies gravity right now.
For us now, we are going to do just like this. And now we are going to just hit the search. When we hit the search,
Sir, Diane Loomis, telephone call for you.
When we hit the search, it should bring us up sold properties and active or pending property. Can we stay on mute, please? Okay, so here's the thing. We have 21 properties. So where do we start? Well, I'm going to tell you, first of all, the stars, the blue stars, are what RPR used in making that RVM. Are we going to use them? Maybe. Maybe we're going to use them, is what I'm going to tell you. We may or may not use them, okay? So here's the thing. I'm going to now, remember I asked you to write down the square footage, how many bedrooms, baths, and the year was built. So number one, we're going to go up here. We're going to use a little computer knowledge. Under the square footage, we're going to click it once. It now gives us a high to low. All we want to do is scroll down to 2812 and start analyzing whether or not we're going to use these comps. Now, I like to go by square footage, bedrooms, baths, year can be plus or minus a couple, that's fine, but location. Some of you are going to say to me, well, this one is pretty close, okay? Why did it sell for so less? But look how far away it is. It's 1 mile away, so I would never, ever use this one. This is 0.3 of a mile, so it's right down the block. It might be on the next block, okay? So for our purposes, to save time, I've already wrote down a couple that I'm using, and 2508 Archfeld is one of them. I will click, and it happened to be used in the RVM. On the right side, it's going to now create a range based on these comps. Okay? So you see the first one is up there. The next one that I used was 2530 Holbrook on 1126. It sold for $657. It's 2812 square feet, 6 bedroom, 4 bath. I'm going to add that to our comps. And then the last one was 2615 Archfeld. That sold on 1230. It's 0.27, right? Right down the block, 2812, 64, and I added up. As you look on the right side, we have our 3 sold. Remember, if you've ever seen an appraisal, it's 3 sold and 3 active and or pending. So the 3 sold that we have here has now created a spread range between 619 and 658. Okay? All right, now we're just going to scroll down to the actives. Now, some may ask you, could I use more than 3? Yes, you can. Just be careful. Because I did it one time, and unfortunately, it was the lowest one, even though it fit in the range. And my buyer said, that's what I want to use. Or no, excuse me, it was the seller. No, it was the buyer. That's right, the lowest one. So you use the lowest one. So you got to be careful. Remember, when you're doing this, the buyer's looking to get the most money out of it, right? Wants to be high. So your goal is to make sure that you price it right. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay. So as we go down, there's 43 for sale properties. Wow, we got a potpourri right now to choose from. A lot of them, though, are bigger, as you see. So we're going to use the same premise. Just scroll down to 2812, which is the square footage, and then start looking. So number 1 is 2596 Archfeld. That one is pending. I'm going to tell you guys, I will use a pending every day. Can somebody tell me why? What's the advantage to using a pending?
Advantage is that it's just like a for sale by owner has already raised their hand, Ronnie. They're already on the market in some degree of price point around the ask price.
Very good, Sean. You're leading up to it, but what's the leverage that you got with it?
It attracted a buyer.
Well, what's the leverage?
The price.
What's the leverage, though? Ring, ring.
You can call the agent and ask possibly, when they're closing and how close are they to that price.
Very good.
I
So
do.
ring, ring, ring. Hi. I'm looking at your property, 2696 Archfeld. Listen, I've got a seller in that neighborhood. We're trying to price it right. Let me ask you, did you get full list price?
Motion detected.
You can't say what the price is because why? They're not going to tell you because they think you got a buyer fishing. Then you could ask them, did you get multiple offers? Is it at or above? That is legal to ask any question. It's illegal for them to answer you if they're not supposed to give you that information. But more than enough, I have called a pending and said, did you get multiple offers? Did you get full list price? Was it above list price? And if they say to you, I'm not telling you, I didn't ask you what the price is. All I want to know is, did you get it at so I can price this property with my seller? That's the leverage of using a pending over an active, because we know they're in contract to probably close. And rather than have to wait and see the final, you can still ask. So I definitely would use the pending more so over an active. All right, so that one I did use. I'm going to call them. The next one I used was 7751 Bassnet. That was on 128, so that was what, 3 weeks ago? 21 days been on the market, right? It's right next door to it and listed at 675. I want to use that one. The next one was 2619 Denville. That's another pending. All right. And that's probably right behind it. Okay. So I have 3. And this time I did 4. I did take a 4th one. 7761 Tusset. I took this one. 126, 126.26, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks. So I did take 4 this time. Okay. You don't have to. I do have 2 pending, so I can call and now find out. So now if we look on the right side, you will see how the list now has changed from 610 to 686. Okay. Does that mean it's the final? Well, let's let the wizard do the magic. The magic is the next step, which is update, valuation, and close. Once we click on that, it has a 649,572 rounded off to 650. 650. That's fine with me. 650. What I'm going to do first is go back to the property information page. So as of today, on 2/18, which is 17 days from the time this RVM was made at 631, our CMA is at 650. The list price is 655. Is it overpriced? No, it's not.
Competitively priced.
It's competitively priced. Now, you still could throw out one of the greatest price reduction lines that I've heard recently. And that is this. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, do you want to price it to negotiate and let it sit? Because remember, if it's listed at 655, what is it going to sell right now? If they get an offer of 655, what is the seller walking away with? They didn't teach this in school? Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Rule of thumb. When it's a seller, closing cost, total closing cost should be no more than 9% of the offer price. I can't do 9% in my head, but I can do 10%. 10% would be what? 65,000. Am I correct? My net sheet will reflect 10%. Why? Because when I show them the net sheet at 10% and it comes in at 9%, they smile because I saved them money. If I do it at 9% and it comes in more, then they frown. So for God's sake, do your net sheets with a 10%. 10% closing cost. You'll never be wrong. Because if you come in lower, they're smiling. On the buy side, since you ask, a buyer's closing costs are never no more. Now, there's 3 components to this. Buyer's closing costs are 3% of the offer, plus lender's fees. Lender fees are never more than $2,200, and down payment, whatever the down payment is, 3%, 3.5%, 10%, 20%, 5%, whatever it is. But 3% are the buyer's closing costs. Now, if you're working with a buyer, just don't say your closing costs are 3%. You got to walk them through it. And when I do my buyer consultation, we're not walking out the door unless they've got the 3% plus the $2,200 plus whatever their down payment is. If they don't have it in cash right now, because my goal is to what? Go show them the first house and then put it in an offer. If they don't have it right now, I can't do that. So I'm not doing it with them. Learn how to leverage. Learn how to pre-qualify them the right way. Most of us just run out, they get the house, and then let's see. Most first-time home buyers, what do they tell you? I'll just pick a house and then I'll figure out how to pay for it. No, that's not the way we do it. All right, so we have the list price, we have the RVM, and we have our CMA. The next thing we want to do is create a report. Now, RPR has updated the reports as of November 4th. The legacy reports went away. So those of you that were using the old style reports, don't worry about it. The new ones are just as good, if not better. In fact, the ones that are, I got to get this right. Let me see. Static means they stay. Dynamic. You can actually send it to your seller and they will update every 48 hours live. That's leverage. Okay? That's leverage. Okay? So if you go to create a report, you're going to look at this and say, oh my God, what do I do? Do I do a buyer template? Do I do a seller template? Do I do a property template? CMA, I'll do the CMA template. Do I do a property flyer? Just do this. Just go all the way to the bottom and click on RPR templates. Now my handout may have the old style. So that's what I'm telling you here. The reason I say just go to RPR templates is because now when you get this in front of you, they have the preview and they tell you how many pages it is. If you need to send them a school report about the area, there's a 10-page school report, which is conducive to that address. You can preview and it'll tell you the key school facts and ratings, side-by-side district comparisons, nearby properties, and insights. You can send it to them if they're looking for the school zones. Real easy peasy, lemon squeezy, okay? If that's not what you want to use, then let's say we're working with a seller right now. It's 13 pages because what I come to find out is the CMA is 48 pages. The only time I'll send a 48-page CMA is to what? Who's ever heard of the disc profile? So Vicky DeLuca, why would I send you a 48-page?
You wouldn't if I was a C, 100%, then yeah.
Because you are a C.
I am. I would probably love it.
Yeah, because you want information. Sorry, but most of the time, guys, 13 pages. 13 pages right here. We hit the preview. And because I already know it has the CMA in there, I know it's going to work for me. It's got the property information, the refined value, market trends, flood zones, whatever. It's a tease, recommended pricing strategy. Oh, look at that. If you really want to see, you'll see page 1. And if you have it branded the right way to you, it's got your branding and everything with all your stuff. If we go to page 2, there is the list price. Well, in this case, it wouldn't be a list price because, you're trying to take the listing, but it would be the RVM and your CMA would be there. Next thing, little information about the property facts, etc., interior features. It's just little things. Whatever photos they find. Now it starts to get into the goods, the market trends. It starts to tell them what type of market we're in right now, okay? And it's conducive with the property specific. I'll show you that when we go to actually do this one. All right, next thing. It shows you what's going on in the area based on the medium list price, the medium sale price. It also starts to show you the comps, right? The This is the recent market activity in the area. Next thing, it'll have the CMA the way you did it. It'll have the comps there. And then it shows the agent selected comps that you had. Next would be the pricing strategy, basically the high, low, and medium, and the recommended, okay? And then, of course, it just tells you about RPR, which is good, and that's it. Okay, so if we're going to use this template, when I click on Use Template, brings up a box, has the property address, report says seller. I'm just going to put test. I'm going to click Continue, and now it's going to create that one for us, okay? So for our purposes, let's see what this looks like, and then I will download it and actually add it to the chat so you guys have a copy of it. So first of all, it's got the picture. If you don't like the picture, what do? Go take a picture of the property and add it to this. Yes, yes, because look, see, what does it say here on the left side? You have control of every single page. If you don't want to send it, you don't. But remember, what did I say? Speed, speed. I basically do everything that's here. The only thing is, if it's a nasty picture, I'm going to edit the cover and add a picture. See, I can choose pictures, or I can upload a picture to it. I can edit my profile if I want. If I'm happy with it, then I say, okay, and I'm done. All right? But the customize is there to do what I want. The cover page, property summary, I can do that. The map will display when the report is generated, as it says. So here, ignore the list price because that's make-believe we're trying to list this and tell them where we think it should land, which would be about $650. Okay, even though the RVM is $631. They'll be happy with the $650, maybe, but we don't know how the market is doing, the rest of the market. Next thing is going to be the property information, interior features, etc., etc. It's going to show us some of the photos. If you don't like 2 pages of photos, just delete one of the pages. It has the snapshot of the market trends for this zip code and where it's falling into right now. Right now, it's a buyer's market. So the buyers are driving right now. Okay? The median days on market is about 64. The sold to list price ratio, though, is the seller's still realizing 98%. 97.7, 98, round off. Okay? Medium sold price 589, 8 months of inventory. So it's definitely a buyer's market. Okay? Hyperlocal. Remember, hyperlocal. So this is hyperlocal, what they're telling us. There's the medium list price, what happened in January, the total sales for the listings, etc. The medium list price for this zip code, the market activity. Okay, the CMA is here. It'll show you the subject property, and the map will generate that for you. Here's the comp, all the comps that we put, the closed ones. There are the active and pending ones, so they see your work. They know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Last but not least, the CMA value. It's right there with the pricing strategy. In other words, you're recommending it to be there. If they want to take this, then you're 686, you're definitely going to say. So you're pricing it to negotiate. Is that what you're telling me? Okay? Seriously. Pricing strategy tells you the high, the low, the medium. This is like what? Those of you that are on Pivot or Inspire, you've heard the Terry Story fishing story. That's basically what this is. Low, medium, high. That's all it is, guys. Just if you use Terry's way, you're going to write it out same way. Where we're going to track the most amount of fish, the most amount of buyers. Okay? Very simple. All right. So then you'll see that. So let's now download it. And I'll download it, and then I'll save it and put it in the chat for you guys. All right, I'm going to stop the share right now. Okay. There's the doorbell. Let's see. Still not getting it. It says 100% complete, but it's still not showing it. All right, come on. Don't be bashful. There it is. Okay. All right, let's just pump it in. Let's just make sure that it did what we wanted. Okay, there should be the report. And it lied to us. It was 18 pages. So there must have been an extra page for photos or something else. But now you have a copy of the exact thing. Okay, so before I move on to part 2, questions, comments? I know that's a lot to absorb. That's why I give you the handout. But guess what, guys? It's probably the easy. Claudia, what can you have to share?
I wanted to ask you in the beginning when you looked at that property, Manistee, and you said, well, the reason why it's been sitting on the market so long is because it's a rental. Was that indicated anywhere in there, or is that just something that you knew?
The first line, it said, fully furnished turnkey. And then it also said in the public remarks that it's a potential short-term rental moneymaker.
Okay.
Plus, if you know the area, Windsor Hills is a short-term rental, full-blown 24-hour man-gated resort. Then 99% of that development is short-term rental.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Denise, Diane.
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call. My question is, where do they get where does RPR get their information that MLS can be as it's happening and it's perhaps 2 weeks behind for the RPR?
So they get from the MLS.
So why can't they be up to date at the same time?
Well, because it's a big thing to upload because, you know, and the old software told you why. And I'll tell you why. I used to like the old software better because there were two screens. The first screen used to say 164 million listings. Because don't forget, they're tied into every MLS in the country.
Right.
So to do that is a monumental task.
Got it.
It also used to say 135 million distressed properties. So they're tied into that. So if they didn't do every 2 weeks, they probably would go down. The servers couldn't handle it.
Too much information.
Yeah. The other thing is they're also pulling from tax records. That's why they're far superior. The off-market properties are tax records, public appraisers, property appraisers, anywhere that they can pull the information, which is good for us. That's what the main thing is.
Right.
But that's a very good question.
Thank you.
All right. So now let's go on to part 2. I want to go to part 2 now. Let me see if I covered what I want. Okay. All right. So the next thing. So we have that report. We take that report with us. And I've gone to the listing presentation and I've taken that report and I've showed it to them. And the first thing out of their mouth was what?
Where
Well,
do
that's
I
all-
sign?
No, no, they won't say that. Normally they're going to say, well, that's all well and good, Ron, but Zillow said this. And then I used to say, well, you know, there's no inaccuracy with this estimate. This is prior to Zillow becoming a legal brokerage. And then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. I said, that's one opinion. But guess what? The buyers, sellers, and investors are probably doing this. How many of you have on your website, and if you don't, well, Keller Williams, you already have it. But if you have with another brokerage, if you don't, you should add it anyway. How many of you have on your website, what's my home worth? Yeah, everybody's got that. Everybody's got that. I don't know anybody that doesn't have that. Okay? So because you have that, guess what? Your buyers, sellers, and investors also have that. They have access to it. What are you talking about, Ron? Well, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this. If you go to page, I think it's 13, and I'll bring it up. Let me see. Where's the handout? The handy dandy. There's the handy dandy. If you go to page 13 of the handout, there are the 17 ways to justify RPR's findings. How many of you know that you can go on realtor.com and get an estimate? How many of you know that you can go to rate.com and get an estimate? You can go to Movoto, although Movoto has changed. We'll see today if it works still. You can go to Bank of America. You can go to Chase. You can go to Axis Bank. Where do you think the for sale by owners get their price? They go to forsalebyowner.com. The Penny Mac, My Kukum, Praiser.com used to be friendly enough. Now you have to pay for it. There's also what? There's also First American. If you have Remine has this. First American, Redfin, which is now with Rocket Mortgage, they have it. And of course, there's always the Zillow. So your buyers and sellers and investors are already going here. They already know this. What I've put together, took me 6 months to get this, is sites that don't ask you for what? Name, address, email, phone number, street address, because they're building their database. These are sites that you can just put in the address and go. So that's where the leverage is for this. So let me explain more where the leverage is for this. So we were in the MLS, okay? Most of you should have this in your MLS. If you don't, it's okay. Let me see if I can get back to that area where it was. Hold on one sec. I may have to close this and come back out. Hold on. All right, Zoom, don't be nasty. Play nice. Play nice, Zoom. There you are. Okay. All right. When we were at the broker synopsis, most of you should have this. If you don't, then you just got to go to realtor.com. But right here next to the RPR is what? Realtor.com Pro Search Property Report. Click on it. That's one of them. When you click on it, usually it will take you, don't worry, just put in your email address, no big deal. You're not creating an account, the account's already there because you're going through the MLS. When you get there, then you'll see what? 2693 Monesti. What does it say here? Estimate. Realtor.com is telling them it's worth 645.7, just like the Zillow. Okay? It's there. Listed at 655, and the estimate from Realtor is telling you. Now, let me show you how Realtor comes up with that. You scroll down here to the, oh, come on, where are you? Is it all the way down here? Tell me they moved it. Looking for the estimate. It'll say real estimate. Property and tax. Private listing. All right, so let's see if I go to realtor.com, if I put it there for me. Okay, so we come here and home value right there. We used to call it the real estimate. That's it right there. Now, there are three there that you can use. Collateral analytics is at 648. Core Logic is what Stellar MLS is or Matrix is. That's who's backs them, 645. Quantarium is artificial intelligence. There was an article about 9 months about Quantarium sees into the future. That's the first notice of AI, and they're at 640. That's also, so guess what, guys? You could print this page out, take it with you. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is leverage. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the market has spoken. Here's what the market is telling us. So RPR was at 650, okay? Realtor.com is at 645, correct? Yeah. So Realtor.com took the three of these, averaged it out, and told you it was 645, right? Yeah. So I would write that down on my little piece of paper. A piece of paper here, right? I would probably print out this page and take it with me. But wait, there's more. And that's what I want to get to. Here's the thing that agents don't understand. Don't just go in with the RPR report because they're going to look at it and say that's one opinion. And they'll tell you Zillow, that's two opinions. Realtor, now I got three opinions. Okay? And we're going to go in depth to all of these. So I'm going to go into my real estate folder, my equity analysis, my justify folder. So we need this nasty bank, even though they're not for us, they're against us. What I'm going to do is take and put the address in there. That's all I'm going to do. So because I can't type, where is it? I'm just going to take it. And if you notice, it did not ask me, well, it hasn't said, please put in your email address and your phone number so we can send you the estimate. No, they gave it right to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. The buyers and sellers are using these tools against you. They already know. That's how they know. Use it to your advantage. So BOA 653, I write that down. Remember, RPR was 650. Hello? Are we not in the same neighborhood? Yes. All right, so that's another one.
Ronnie, the other
Yes.
thing is the bank charged the client $600 to do that too, which is amazing, isn't it?
Well, I didn't want to go there, but thank you, Sean. See? That's a good thing. And no, you're absolutely right, Sean. Absolutely right. And guys, here, if you want to go one step further, you can come down here. It shows you their work. Now, you got to be careful because sometimes you'll see outdated comps. So you got to look and see how current the comps are. Like this one, Definitely not. But guess what? Even if you threw it out, most of them are 2025. So it's probably going to still bring you around here. Okay? Or maybe it'll bring it down to 650. The next nasty one is the other nasty bank. And you see, I didn't have to sign up for nothing. That's the point. Chase, home value estimator. And all of these are on page 13, how to get there. You come right here, search properties. Right? I just paste the property in there, find it, click search. Scroll up to it. Should be right up here. 646. I round off. Round up. 646. I'm writing that down. I'm writing this down on my little scratch pad. Now, in reality is, I'm writing it down to show you guys where it's going to lead up to. But guess what? I'm probably printing out this page and taking it with me. And when I go to say the recommended price is what the market is telling us, I lay out 5 and 6 and 7 pages and just sit there and shut up. Let the forms do the heavy lifting. And when they see Bank of America, Chase, they see Realtor.com, they see Redfin, Rocket Mortgage, whatever, then they start to self-discover, oh, this is what the market is saying. If I go to the next one, it's called Cocoon. Cocoon is a good site because it actually tells us in the future. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. If it doesn't help us, you don't take it with you. If it helps you, take it with you. Now, Cocoon is going to tell us that the home is only worth $587. I'm not taking it with us. Okay? And what gets me is that their property condition. I don't like that because this is a turnkey property. They're getting top dollar for rentals that shouldn't be at $771. There's no way. The condition of property is perfect. They've probably taken it on age, but do they really know if the air conditioner has been updated or the roof is new or not? Only from public records if they pulled the permits and stuff. So this one I would not take with me, but it's still something to use because sometimes it's right on point with us. So you use it to your advantage when you need to use it, okay? It's just another tool. You see, the point I'm trying to make is they're using it too. All right? The next one, and I've not signed up for anything here. I didn't have to create an account. That's the point. These are all free. I put it in. As soon as it gives it to me, I'm not a robot. Get the home value estimate. Penny Mac is a nationwide lender. 641 with Penny Mac. I'll take it. 641. I wrote it down on my pad. Okay? The next one, as I go to the next one here. Let's see what I have. There's Penny Mac. The next one is Rate. These are all banks that I'm using. Where are they getting their info from? Where do you think they're getting it from? See my home value. Oh, this is the one that got tricky with me. Who's playing with me? Yeah, the auto settings got in the way. That's why. Stop playing with me. All right, that one I can't get to right now, so I'm not going to play with it. But rate came up at 643. All right. Next one. The next one is Axos. That's another big lender. Axos, I put in the address, maybe. Okay. Axos is telling us it's worth 718. You think I'm using that? Say no. No, I'm not. Because I don't know where they came up with that. I have no idea how they came up with that so far off like that. They're showing you over here, the medium sale price is 513. So where they're coming up with 718, the only thing I can think of is they're taking this one, which is totally off base, and they're taking this one. Okay? These are what? 6-month-old comps. So I would take them out and I would definitely bring it down. So I wouldn't use it. But the ones I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I used 9 of them. Still have some more to go to. Next one would be Movoto. Now, Movoto used to be free and I didn't have to sign up and all that happiness. It's since changed, at least the other day it did. I'll try it now. Okay. Maybe because I did sign up and now it's not asking me, but I actually had to unsubscribe because they were sending me emails every 3 minutes. But this one had 669. Okay. Rounded off 670. So I wasn't using it. All right. I still wanted to stay in the same range of about 650. All right. The next one that I used was this one, which is where the FSBOs get their information for sale by owner. They go here, they put their address in, and then between this and the Zillow, they decide what to put in the front yard. So this one is 647. Okay? So they're using that one. I wrote that down. The next one that I have is, so this is Redfin, which is powered by Rocket Mortgage, because Rocket used to have a separate one. Redfin did. They now became one. And that one comes up at 635, 261, 636. I rounded off. Okay. Now, truth be told, sources have said that they like Redfin the most. They say Redfin is the closest. That remains to be seen, to be honest with you. But I'll still take it and use it. All right, to my advantage. All right, so the next one is, the Zillow. Yeah, we got to use the Zillow. Why not? Because they are. So if I put it in the Zillow says it's 642. Okay? That's lower than RPR. So if the guy saw the RPR, he's probably not going to show you the Zillow, right? Because you're already telling him it's worth more. The point is this: you take all of these and you add them up. You put them all together like I did. That's what I did. I took it on the pad here. I added them all up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. I took 9, added them all up. I divided by the 9. I came up with 643. And truth be told, if I added in Movoto, Axos, and Kukin, which was 670, 718, and 587, it came out to 647 if I took all of them. So if I took every one of them, 647 is what the market is speaking to. I wouldn't have taken the Actos at 6718 because they're going to point right to it and say that's what I want to list it at. Okay? But the idea is this: I would have printed out those 9 sheets, the Bank of America, the Chase, the Axos, the rate, the for sale by owner, the Redfin, the Zillow. I would lay it down in front of them and just shut up and let them tell me that they still want to list it higher than what the market is speaking. That's how this works so fast, number one. Number two, remember I told you I can do a CMA in 8 minutes. This is how I do it in 8 minutes. I would just click on RPR. RPR said it was worth what when we originally saw it? 647, I think it was. 647. I'd write that down, and then I'd take every one of these and add it together. And that's it. And I would tell you, print this out and take it with you to the listing appointment, and you'll be fine. That's how simple and easy it is to do. All right, questions?
Hi, Ronnie. It's Christine.
Hello, Christine.
Hi. Was there a packet in the email or something, or is the packet, because you mentioned a packet, I got on about a half hour, about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, you were tardy? I'm sorry.
I got mixed up at the time. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Give me a second. I was waiting for somebody to ask for it. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it the easy way.
So in the packet, it has all these links and stuff you're speaking about?
Page 13.
Okay.
Let me see. Where is it? I know I put it in. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Can I copy? No, it's just down. All right, I got to do it again. Hold on. Coming to you.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Did you get the report, or do you need the report too?
I need the report too.
Okay. Everybody else
you
should
putting
be
it-
in the
Oh, I see
chat
it.
now.
Okay.
Ronnie, I came in late as well. And I'm wondering about the information as well.
Go into the chat. It's
Go
in the
into the
chat
chat.
right now.
Okay.
Yep. There's both of them right now. They're the ones that just came out. Okay. So now you got what you need. All right. Next hand up, Priyanka.
Hey Ronnie, Priyanka here. Sorry, I joined late because I had my walk through it, new construction. I'm still here. So
I
is it
know.
possible?
I still love you. Go ahead.
I always love you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I got a tardy. I know I will make it. So is it we can get the recording of the session and whatever the print the whatever the data you put it over here, any
I
sheets,
promise
cheat
you in the
sheets.
next 10 minutes, you'll have access to recording.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
You're
love
welcome.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you more. Love you more
Just stay.
now. Okay.
Okay. Stay on. You're going to get it. Now,
Yeah.
I just showed you 17 ways. Now, if you're not with Keller Williams, I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm going to show you something that Keller Williams agents have, but they don't use. And that's the sad part about it. You also have another tool that you can use. Very, 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 very important that you can use it. And what I mean by that is, let me see. Oh, it's going to play with me now. Come on, where'd you go? No, it's not there. It's not there. Now I have it. Let's see. Should be here. Now I can't find it. Oh, wow. No, I have it. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. If there's other questions, please ask while I'm trying to get this together.
Ronnie, I have a question. When you're choosing the comps and some have the stars, those are the ones that RPR recommends. When do you ever use those? I know you're comparing and doing, but, I'm just curious. Do you ever use the starred ones?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
But I use the stars based on square footage, based on close to proximity of the property. Apples to apples. Because if you look at the starred ones, sometimes they may be an older comp or they may be a little inferior comp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't want to use that unless you have to.
Okay.
And there's been times where I've had to, because it just was that that's all that was available. So, that's one thing you want to, look, you control how this all does. Okay?
Right.
You control it from start to finish. So you decide which ones you're going to pick, which ones you're not going to pick. And that's the point.
I find this so helpful because I had been just using the RPR. And then after you introduced me to all of the banks, now I'm going to those banks and I'm taking the number, like you're saying, I'm putting it on a pad and then I'm averaging it out.
Right.
And then I'm coming out with a number, and that's basically where I'm at because I figure it's going to be somewhere around there.
Correct. Because that's all the comps are, is the average. That's all it is. I mean, listen, I mean, if you haven't done an appraisal, ask an appraiser to see their appraisal. Because if you don't understand, an appraiser does what? He takes the high and takes out the low. He takes them out and takes the middle. He takes the average, and that's why he comes up with the appraisal price. Throws out the low, throws out the high. It's the same thing we're doing here, basically. Now, yes, I know they went to school and they studied, so they're so far superior to us. That's debatable too. I've had that.
So out of curiosity, with regard to, say, tomorrow, I have an appraiser coming. I'm
Okay.
going to send them the RPR, but I'm only going to send them like the first page or should I send him more than that? And then including obviously the comps, right? Because he'll see. I mean, I'm pretty confident because I priced it under the market value, but I don't know, what else would you provide them?
Well, you got to watch because you can't tell them their job. Can you give it to them? Yes. But you want to be tactful. Now, you'll probably be able to do it because you know how to talk to people. Okay? Not to say that anybody else don't know how to talk to people. But Vicky, I know how you're going to present it in a nice, non-offensive way. You can't say, you know what I mean? And especially when you try to challenge an appraisal, remember, if they dig their heels in, they don't want to hear you. You know what I mean? And that's the only
I'm just
problem.
sending it saying I thought this would be helpful,
That's all. That's all nice and sweet. Nice, very nice and sweet. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll be receptive to it. All right. So if you can see my screen now, you'll see my phone, correct? So Keller Williams agents, you have another tool that you don't use. And that's called your Command Consumer app. What do I mean by that? When it opens up, it shows you all the properties, doesn't it? Now, if you've done it the right way, you did a test account, so you put yourself there because then you add yourself as the realtor, so you can do what? You can share that app. And that's why I get frustrated when people tell me at open houses, well, I don't know what to do. Get their information. Just get their phone number, share the app with them. When they click on it, it's going to create it's going to create in command their own thing, and it's going to send them this is what it's going to say. Your app, everybody has their own thing. I use the KW app to search for homes with my agent, Ronnie DiCarlo, down and now for a personalized experience. If they do that, I send it to myself. Anyway, if they do that and they start clicking on it, you're going to get notifications. You're going to get known that they're out there doing it. It's the easiest way to track them. The other thing is, here's the other tool. What does it say here? Buy, rent, whatever. What does it say here? My home. What does it say? Let's find your home to get started. Enter address. 2693 Man Street. Okay? What is it, Man Street Lane? Leave me alone. Man Street Lane, 34747, right? 34747. Search. I want to discover the value of my home. Oh, it's not finding it. I probably typed it in wrong. All right, I'm just going to use the one that comes up
Hold on,
here.
Ronnie, it was actually Manistee Lane, MAN.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it was 34747.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sausage fingers. There it is, right? Boom. Look at that. Your estimated home value is 635 to 730. Okay? Connect with us to unlock even more powerful home insights. Unlock rental value insights. Understand how your home is trending over the last 30 days. Or find a different property. Put in whatever they want. This is a tool you can get them away from the Zillow. So if you're with Keller and you have it, for God's sake, use it. Because it's tying you to them. Okay?
Ronnie, I have a question.
Question?
Yes. This app is the red one or the white one?
It's the white one, the Command Consumer app. It's made for the consumer. At every open house, I have a sign-in sheet because I'm old school and I may not have a signal. But every time I see their phone number get written down, I go right to the app and, oh, let me send you my custom app. Guess what that does? If they gave me a phony number, I discover it right then and there.
And I'm
Or-
sorry, but where did you click on that after going on the white app?
On the white app, you're going to click on the man. Well, you're going to click on the home,
Okay.
and it says buy, rent, or my home. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to respect everyone's time. Oh, good. We're running pretty good. All right. Next. What do I have next? Oh. Who would like to use RPR for lead generation? Okay.
Yes.
Vicky, this is more designed for you. The reason why is Vicky is a door knocker. She's constantly door knocking. You have a question? Vicky? Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. No, I was raising my hand saying yes.
Question, please.
No, yes, I love this whole idea to use as lead gen. So I apologize.
No, no worries. No worries. Don't apologize. All right. So let me do this. Let me put it in the chat for you because you're going to be asking for it in about 2 minutes. All right. So let's go here. Where are you? I just had it. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it is called a quick CMA or quick equity analysis, as we like to say. When you're out door knocking, or if you want to do this with your sphere of influence, you know you should be sending 2 equity analysis every day to your database. Every day you should be sending 2. Here's how you do it. You go to, and this is, this reminds me to tell you, if the property has never been in the MLS, you go to NARRPR.com. That's the standalone National Association of Realtors Property Resource. That's the standalone, which will bring this up. You're going to put into the search engine there the address. Once you do that, step by step, we're going to tell you. It's going to tell you the property address. It brings it right up, okay? It has an RVM. That's your equity analysis. You go create a report. Doesn't matter what report you use. I don't care. I don't care what report you use. You can choose any one except the property flyer. That's for open houses, if they still have that. This is an old thing. You're only going to print page 1 and 2. It's called a MOFR, make offer for immediate response. Here's the MOFR. Page 1 is the front page with the property. It may or may not have the photo of the property. It's going to have your information. Page 2, right? Only one page is all you need. Has the property, and guess what? The estimated value. That's the equity analysis. That's your foot in the door. When you go and door knock, hi, did you know that the current estimated value of your property is $693,550? First, their head's going to spin. Then they might say, well, we're not selling. Okay, just wanted you to know the value of your property. Well, you know, I really think it's about 50,000 higher. Great. Can I come in 15 minutes and let's discuss what it really is? Now you're on a listing appointment. In spite of yourself, you just got business. That's what the leverage is of this MOFR. That's not used by agents. I for the life of me, I don't understand. Now, if you're with Inspire or you're with Pivot, you've heard Chris Ruskowitz. She does the report. She does a big report that she does, equity analysis. That's to her database. That's to people that she's already in dialogue with that are expecting this every first of the year. It's a little more involved. Can you use that too? Yes. But if you're looking to get business, one sheet of paper here will get your foot in the door. Again, if you wanted to just send this by email, text, Pony Express, send 2 a day to the people in your database just to get them to raise their hand. What could you say? You know, my sellers have told me by sitting down for 15 minutes, at least gave them an education of what their home is worth so they could insure it properly. Maybe they're underinsured. Maybe they're only insured for $600,000. That's what this also helps. For insurance purposes, you're coming from contribution. You're providing them value. 1 page, 2 sides, right? 1 page. That's all you need. If you go door knocking, I'll never forget, I'm in the training room, 2 agents saying, oh, let's go door knocking. They looked at each other and said, what are we going to send? What are we going to give them? I said, are you kidding me? Pick 20 or 30 homes and then print out 30 pages, each side, whatever, as long as they're not listed, right? And just go knock on the door and say, do you know the value of your home? Here it is. And then just let them tell you, oh no, that home down the block sold for $750. Mine's worth more than that. Great. Can I sit down with you for 15 minutes? Because maybe it really is worth $750. Now you're on a listing appointment. You create your own appointments, your own value. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, can I ask you a quick question about that? Did you
Yep.
get your estimated value after doing that full CMA report?
No,
that you
no,
did,
this is
or
when
is
I
this
just clicked on RPR.
Okay, so
That's-
if it comes in actually at less than that, once you kind of go through a deeper analysis, are people gonna respond? Well, you first told me it was worth $693 or $550.
What does it
Why
say
are you
here?
not telling me it's $675?
What does it say? Current estimated
right.
value.
Right.
It's only an estimate like anything else.
Okay.
That's it. You didn't say that's what it's going to sell for. You said, did you
So
know
how
what
do you
your
respond if
estimated
somebody's
value
like, wait a
is?
second, now that you're sitting down with me, you're telling me 675. How do you respond to that kind
This
of a
is what the
question?
market is telling us right now.
Okay.
And that's why they also have the range, because a lot of them, I'm not happy with this range, to be honest with you. Because a lot of them will say, well, wait a minute, it says it's worth 728. Well, let's see what the market is actually telling us.
Mhm.
Remember, when you present this, it's only for you to get them to say, oh, I didn't know it was worth that much, or, oh, I think it's worth more. It's to get an appointment. Because if you're not doing this either on the phone sending it to them that way or asking them that way, they're already going out to those 17 sites that I showed you and finding out what their property is worth. The idea of being belly to belly, face to face to them gives you the leverage that you can now get inside and actually show them. This is what the market's at. Now, you may not get business that day, but guess what? You planted the seed by telling them you are the economist of choice.
Mm-hmm.
You are the realtor of choice that knows what the market is, know what's going on. Remember, it's all hyper local. Don't forget. Now, could it be that this is that this is 693, and the Zillow says it's worth 650? Well, then what? Wait a minute. They all swear by Zillow because they've been so brainwashed and tunnel washed with Zillow that was just a marketing giant. That's how they got to where they are today, to believe that they are the true and all-knowing. We know differently today, obviously, but that's the realization. So it's up to you to show them that this is what the market is telling us. Now, remember, when you go out there, again, this one is a little late, but if I went out today with the one we just did today, that data is from 2/1, from February 1st. On February 1st, the current estimated value was 640. On February 18th, it's worth 650. I know it's only 3,000, but you see how the market changes? This is only an estimate. Same as that 650 is only an estimate. Same as all the other things that I showed you are only estimates. What do you think an appraisal is? It's an estimate. But because you pay for it, you think it's the law. So let me go into my little tangent on that. Guess what? How many of you that have been in the business have worked with a buyer that the appraisal came in 20,000 low and still they paid 20,000 more? I have.
I just had that happen.
I had one a few years ago for $106,000 off.
And they paid the extra 106?
No, we had to find more value. We assessed value of timber. We assessed value of the bathroom renovations. We assessed all these things, and we had them go to a different lender to get a different appraiser, and literally gave them a detailed analysis of all the reasons why it was closer to our ask price. We ended up getting 20,000 over our ask price.
Okay, that's pretty well. I'm saying the appraisal came in, it was 20,000 less, but the buyer still paid the 20,000 more. That happens every day, guys, in case you don't know that. The reason is only 4 things can happen in an appraisal. The appraisal comes in, and if you're a listing agent, the only thing you ever tell the other side is it came in at value. You don't say the price, you just say it came in at value. That's it. Now, if you're representing the buyer, you can tell them it came in above value or below, whatever. But there's only 4 things that happen in an appraisal. Number 1, if it comes in low, the seller comes down, the buyer goes up, the seller buyer meet in the middle or somewhere in between, or they walk away. Yet, buyers can still pay even if the appraisal comes in low, and you see it all the time. Because why? They fell in love with the house and they don't care that the appraisal said it's 20,000 low. They still were willing to pay it. When did that happen recently? During the second boom, during COVID. You know how stupid people were that were overpaying 50,000 and 60,000 and 70,000? People were losing their mind. About 40 offers in one day. That don't happen now. Now we got to fight for price reductions. Why? Because the seller that missed that opportunity 3 years ago is now trying to think that they can still cash in on that and on that extra equity. And they can't. So it's a fight for us now to price it right. But that's the idea, guys. Even though they pay for an appraisal, they still can pay over the appraisal. It does not matter. So it's just an opinion like anything else. It's just a tool like anything else. Now, the bank will say, I'm not paying any more. I'm not lending any more than the appraised value. That's what they've decided. How many of you have worked with a lender that waived the appraisal? I had them waive an appraisal on my buyer. Yeah. They waived the appraisal. First time it ever happened to me. I was like, holy smokes.
How did you ask that, Ronnie? What was your pitch? What was your script on that?
No. It was my lenders with Keller Mortgage.
Oh, okay.
And I said to him, Ken, did we get back the appraisal? He says, nah, don't worry about it. We're waiving the appraisal. You're doing what? We're waiving the appraisal. So I called my buyer, and I'm good friends with her. And I said, Maureen, I got bad news. I said, it didn't appraise. She said, what? I said, it didn't appraise because they waived it. I said, so you got it. I said, so don't worry about it. So, but anyway, yeah, that can happen too. And it does. Judy Gill from San Diego, California.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes from San Diego. So yes, I did have that happen once. And the reason is because although my clients, the buyers, did get a loan to purchase their forever home, they came in with enough down payment that the lender said, yeah, we're good. No need for the appraisal.
Yeah, that's usually when they'll do that. Okay, so we're running short on daylight here. I'm going to put the next thing in here. What it is the RPR residential, they're called the one-sheeters, I call them. One-sheeters, and they are 36 of them. So you don't have to go find them. I put them all together for you, and they will walk you through step by step how to set up your profile, how to do, let me see what it has. I'm not going to bring it up because of time. There's all the resources there for you. There is create your own account. If you got your profile and settings, how to do your profile and get you all set up the right way. The homepage, printable markets, the property search and details, the map search and analysis. There is so much here, guys. Mailing labels. How many of you know there's mailing labels? Yeah, you can print mailing labels. Jennifer Rice put in early birds that they're giving away 2,000 for free. I don't know about that. Maybe they're allowing you to pull 2,000 records. Because I don't think they're going to give it to you for free, but they may let you pull the records to do that, which is good. Geographic farming is in there. Printable property details, additional resources, transaction zip form, neighborhoods, printable. So there's 36 of them that you can use any way you want. All right. Next thing that I have on the list, I did the guides, quick CMA. Oh, the VAs to resist downs. Everybody that wants a copy of this class, you're more than welcome to it. The only thing is I probably won't have it up for another hour or two once I put it all together. So in the meantime, what you can do is, let me see, it's up. Okay, get out of there. What you can do in the meantime is it here? Yeah. Just go to my YouTube page. Keller Williams Classic, Cappers in Training, my name, Ronnie DiCarlo. Just go there, subscribe if you want, and guess what? From 9/9, when I taught I taught this class here. That's with my old partner, Mabel. We did that, and my own team leaders in there. All right. My mega open house class is there. The 7th level mega open house that I did with Jack Smith is in there. You learn how to do luxury open houses plus open houses. Here's the other thing, guys, that I want you to know. If you look at it, let me do it this way. No, I don't want that. If I go to, and you can search in here too if you want. If you go to the playlists, okay, Do you know your KW apps? If you want to know your apps, my training videos, pricing right in today's market. That's the Terry story, fish story, how to do it. The low, medium, and high. That's the fish story. All right. If you go to the, let's see, 7th level open house, as it says, there's 6 videos in there. My open house is going back 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There's plenty of them there. There's plenty of them to you to have. If you go back to, let's see, where's the 10 steps to CMA? There's 11 videos. That's 11 times I've recorded this video. This one was 7 months ago, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 8 months ago, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. There's plenty that you can have and you can look at, so you're never without it. The new one, like I said, will probably be up in about an hour. Bold Coach Rich Carpentieri, if you know him, his 37-minute buyer presentation is in here. There is a lot of Ignite stuff in here. There's a lot of Diana Kokoska in here. There's a lot of, I can't remember, Chris Heller is in here. There's, who else is in here? Nikki Ubaldini's in here. This one is about 6 years old, how to get a buyer rep agreement signed in 34 minutes. That came from MAPS Coaching. There's also how to tag your smart views, how to do your DTT2 and tag it the way you want. The listing pre-qual and listing presentations, how to do that from a couple of great agents that are in there. There's a plethora of stuff in here. You don't have to pay or anything like that. It's free to use. You're more than welcome to use it. Okay. I think I covered it all. All right. Anything for the greater good?
Ronnie, how come you keep getting better looking with every one of these that you do? Is there a secret to that? We all want to know.
I dye my hair purposely to look older.
You look marvelous, man.
29.
It's the distinguished look. I mean, the distinguished look. Distinguished look. I'm sorry.
Distinguished. But anyway, guys, if nothing else, use this tool to your advantage, however you use it. If you use it all or you only use part of it. But for God's sakes, you're paying for it in your dues. So use it one way or the other. And the other tools that are there too. At the end of the day, the enemy is outside. Yes. We come from contribution. We're here to help families. But a lot of them want to take advantage of us. It's the truth. I had a referral from a great agent, and all the guy wanted was for me to show him homes because he was coming down on a 3-day weekend. Thank God I realized it. Okay? Said, send me the BBA, I'll sign it, and this and that. I sent it to him. I'm still waiting for him to sign it. That was 2 weeks ago. Miguel, you have your hand raised? No? Okay. Because you switched with Sean. All right. Any other questions for the greater good?
Thank you so much, Ronnie. This was spectacular. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all of you for coming.
Thank you so much for your time,
Awesome,
Ronnie. This
Ronnie.
was amazing.
Thank you, Ronnie. This was
Always.
great.
And remember, I've said it before. Once you take this class, I'm only a phone call away. Brenda Ellenberg called me the other day. Her and I together, we walked through it. She took the listing. She got it. Okay? All right. You guys have a great day. Thank you.
Bye, Ronnie. Thanks.